YouTubers, what we are going to do today is we are going to sublimate on glow-in-the-dark vinyl. It is so very addictive and so very, very cool. So, let me go show you what you need. Alrighty, so that's what it looks like when it's not glowing. I will include some pictures in this video because the camera, for whatever reason, is struggling to pick up the glow well. It's much brighter in real life than the camera's picking up, or the video is picking up. But this is our glow-in-the-dark, and then the black is what we sublimated on top of it. So it's really quite cool. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with this project. We'll probably glow-in-the-dark everything. So what you're going to need, obviously, is glow-in-the-dark vinyl. So this is glow-in-the-dark vinyl from my local vinyl shop. I have not tried any of the other brands out there. They had this project up on their Facebook page, so I had to do it too. So it is a green tintish glow-in-the-dark vinyl HTV. It's thicker than traditional like HTV, and it does have this green tint to it. It is thicker than the Caesar. See, the Caesar is also very white. So I don't know if this would work on this one as well. I haven't tried it. They also have several different colors. They have a blue and a pink, and they have all sorts of colors up online. It does only seem to work very well on this green one. I tried it on, this is the blue one, and it actually didn't look too bad after the first day, but several days later, he's looking a little rough. And then the pink one is 2. So if you do it like the day of Halloween, it might not be so bad, but a couple days later, they're looking a little rough. Also, originally I was going to do this on a garden flag. That was my idea. I thought it'd be cool outside. Now, a lot of the UV reactive vinyls, if you put them out in direct sunlight, they'll lose their ability to change colors. Once again, I don't know if that's a case for this entirely, but I didn't want to risk it. I know with a lot of the other UV changing ones, it just kind of, they just blow out and then they won't change anymore. So that's why we're doing this on a kitchen towel for my kitchen. Also, the kitchen towel is a lot thicker, which seems to do this project better. If you can kind of tell, this is a bit rough looking, where this looks a lot better on the thicker material. So keep that in mind for whatever you put it on. Also, the glow-in-the-dark glow-in-the-dark HTV only glows for a little bit and then it stops. It's not a glow stick. I don't want you to put it on like a child's piece of clothing and think that you'll be able to keep an eye on them easier that way. It glows and then it stops. So keep that in mind with whatever application you use it for. Also, it does better if it's exposed to UV light, so actual sunlight, or like one of these UV like little flashlighty things. I have this because I was looking for hornworms on my tomatoes, and they glow in the dark with a UV light. So, but a flashlight UV will make these glow and then glow brighter than just regular light. You will also need your Sublimation Transfer. This is from, I have an SG400 Sawgrass printer. If you do not have a sublimation printer, you can buy transfers from like Etsy. My local vinyl shop will print them for me as well. So you will need a sublimation transfer. You can also try the Cricut Infusible Inks. Now, I have not tried this, but I would imagine they would work. A couple things to keep in mind is they've got a carrier sheet on them, so your time and temperature would probably have to be higher than mine. So what you would do is you would take these and cut them and then do the same technique where you'd flip it over and put them on the vinyl. But I'm guessing you would need to be a little bit longer time and temperature because of the carrier sheets on them, but this will work. Also, I would not recommend any of the crazy patterns on the green. I would just keep it simple. I don't know how flowery colors are going to do on green transfer, on green HTV. So keep that in mind. So you also need heat tape. This is my little heat tape from Amazon. Never let me down. I will leave a link down in the description below. It's never left marks on anything for me, so highly recommend it. Highly recommend the little tape dispenser too. It's really nice. We are also going to use my heat press and Teflon sheet since we're using HTV. Alright, so this is the design we're going to do. What I've decided to do for this kind of thing is, this is a traditional SVG file. and then I put an offset around it for the glow, and just kind of use more of a silhouette effect with it. Now, you are free to try whatever design you want to do. I would highly recommend kind of keeping it black. I don't know how some glittered filled multicolored design is going to transfer onto green HTV. If you want to try it, go for it, but I would definitely recommend testing it out first and not putting on your final project. So I just decided to keep it simple. And this is just traditional SVG cut file. I will leave a link to all the designs that I've used and fonts on down in the description too. But what I did, so I'm going to copy and paste this real quick. So this is my traditional SVG file. And what I did is I came over here to my offset button and just put an offset and outside offset on it. And then you can make it as fat as you want to. We'll hit apply. Now what I wanted to show you, we can fill it in real quick, is we're gonna have to line all this up. And or I kind of like all this and kind of think it's cool. You're never gonna get it to line up. Or you might, it just would be really stressful. So you can come in here and it's point editing, double click, and then you can click on the little different points and hit delete on your keyboard over here. And then that way it gets rid of some of the extra little curvy points that we don't necessarily need. And stuff like this, I would just get rid of. You just trying to line all of that up is just going to be needlessly stressful. So, and you can decide how much you want to keep. I just keep in mind that you're going to have to line this up, and you're going to want to keep that a little bit more on the simpler side than something ridiculously ornate. So, but that's all I did. And so now you have two parts. This white part is going to be our sublimation, and the black is going to be our vinyl. So I'm going to click this and hold my shift key and click my lettering. That is going to have to go to our sublimation printer. So let's kick this guy off and let's put this guy back on. And now I want to make it all black. And you can go over here to line as well and make sure that's black as well, so that you don't have any crazy weird colors. So there we go. And then I'm going to go file and print. And I'm going to print to, now I've upgraded my silhouette, so it's giving me this now. If you haven't seen that, that's why. I'm on like 4.4.5 something. So I've upgraded it, and that's why it's giving me this. So I'm going to print, and I'm going to do the Sawgrass Print Manager. All right, so this is our Sawgrass Print Manager. You are going to want this mirrored. That's the big thing to know. You're going to want this mirrored. And I've just selected HTV. And we are going to print that. And it is going to yell at me because I am low on ink. Alrighty, so we are done printing. So we're going to select these two and kick them off our mat. And move our two vinyl pieces back on. Now for this one, you can go back over here to your page setup and do auto. And then you can drop your transparency or increase your transparency, so you can actually see the grid and your numbers. I like to do this so you can kind of place your vinyl a little bit better to kind of help eliminate some of the waste. And I think that's what we're going to do. So this will be our hat, and this will be our offset for our printing. And then you're going to flip them horizontally because we're going to need to mirror this because it's vinyl. So now we're going to go over here to our send panel. I was cutting by line color in my last video, so that's why this is here. So go back over here to simple, and then because we're just cutting out two shapes. And we're going to go down to HTV glitter. I'm using my Cameo 2 today, but you can use any of the cameos on it. It does not matter. And then I'm cutting this with a blade of 4. If you're using if you're not using the auto blade, it doesn't matter. This number can be whatever it wants to be, but I'm using it at a 4. If you are using the auto blade, you would need to move these around so it's at the right number. But I'm using it at a 4, force of 33, speed of 5, and only 1 pass is what I'm doing. Alrighty, so I pulled my vinyl out of my cutting machine, and you're just gonna, you know, weed this like you would any other HTV. Alright, so I got my vinyl all cut out and weeded. So what you're going to want to do now, this is my Sublimation Transfer, and what you're going to want to do, you don't have to cut around all of it, but you're going to want to cut around enough of it so you can line it back up when we go to press it. Now, if you're feeling really ambitious, or if you had like a lot of little ones of these to do, you could totally print and cut this, but I don't print and cut any more than I absolutely have to. And you don't have to cut all of this out. I probably will this just because it's easy. But you just want enough to kind of cut out so that you can line it back up. So see, we're going to press this to this. Okay. I also have my heat press turned on and warming up. It's turned on to 350 degrees for 45 seconds. All right, and that's what I cut out for the lettering. This is honestly, because it's so swirly, I don't want to cut closer, but we're winging it a bit more than I would like to. But you can kind of mostly see where it's supposed to go. So, let's go over to the heat press. Alright, so we're over at the heat press. We're going to pre-press for just a couple seconds to get out any of the wrinkles in my towel. We're just going to put this on the back of the design I showed you earlier. Also, this is sublimation, so I don't have any pressing pillars or anything. This doesn't need a lot of pressure. It just needs high heat, mostly. So, we're going to put these guys on here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of glowing in the heat press. Alright, so what's going to happen is I'm going to close this probably for 2 to 3 seconds. All I want this to do is it to attach to my piece of fabric. That's it. It does not need to do anything more than that because we're going to come back and sublimate on top of it. So I promise you it will stick, but you're just trying to get this to stick to the towel right now. Also, keep in mind this is a cold peel, so do not peel it up right away, or all you're going to do is peel up your vinyl. Alright, so what I like to do is move it off my heat press and put it on my my countertop here and have it cool down. Alright, so this doesn't have to be like ice cold to the touch, but it needs to be fairly cool, and you can tell that it's actively cooled down. And so you're just going to peel. Now keep in mind, since it's a cold peel, I don't want to say it's hard to peel. There's more resistance when you do peel it than if you had just normal warm peel HTV. Alright, so now you're going to line up your sublimation transfers. And what I like to do is just do a piece of tape at the top and a piece of tape at the bottom, just to kind of keep them in place. You don't have to go like crazy with the tape. You can also do this on the counter where you won't burn yourself. Now, we're going to put a Teflon sheet on top of this. Traditionally, you don't do that with sublimation, but because we have exposed vinyl, that's what we need to do. So I'm going to close this. The heat press is set for 350 for 45 seconds. Because this is a little, I guess, non-traditional sublimation, that's why we've cut the temperature and the time down. Depending on your heat press and what you're doing, I would highly suggest a testers first before you try this in practice or on anything you're like attached to, because you might need to adjust your settings. I didn't want to actually like cook the HTV, which you totally can do, so that's why I was a little lower on my time and temperature. Alrighty. And so now you're just going to peel this off. And once again, you can take this off the heat press so you don't burn yourself. And that is what it's looking like, sort of, kind of glowing. I'll put a picture up at the end of the video. It's much cooler in real life. Alrighty, so there it is, all done. You see, it turned out pretty well. Our vinyl looks pretty good. It doesn't look burnt or too rough for the wear. And the other nice thing is, since you're sublimating on top of it, you don't have like that feel of all the layers of vinyl. So it's so much fun. Go do this. Go glow in the dark everything. It's a lot of fun. I did want to show you real quick. This is one I did last year. This is the white Caesar glow in the dark, and then this is just regular smooth HTV. So you can layer it if you don't want to, or if you want to do more layer stuff on top of it or layer glitter on top of it, you totally can. The sky's kind of the limit with this. So if you liked, please like and subscribe to our little video, and I'll be back with something soon. And I'll put pictures at the end of the video because the video is not doing this justice. It turns out really cool. The video, for whatever reason, is struggling to pick it up, but I highly go look at them. It's really cool.